For most of human history, wars simply disappeared into silence. Who fought, who won, who died. None of it was remembered. Long before writing, there were no names, no heroes, no stories that survived. Even the earliest written records spoke of wars in only a few brief lines. The first truly detailed account of a battle, carved into stone, appears on the walls of a temple along the Nile. And the story it tells is still gripping today. News of the Egyptian army's advance spread quickly. The pharaoh had emerged from the desert, marched through Gaza, and was now moving north. Only a stretch of harsh land lay ahead of him, and beyond it, a powerful city where his enemies had gathered, Megiddo. The pharaoh was young. His name was Thutmose III, and he had ruled alone for only a few months. As he considered the march toward Megiddo, his generals advised caution. They pointed to two wide, safe roads, easier routes free of surprises. But Thutmose knew of a third way, a narrow, dangerous route through the Aruna Pass. It was risky, the kind of road where an army could be trapped and destroyed, but it led almost directly to Megiddo. It was faster, and Thutmose made his choice. "I will take this road," he said, and his army followed him. The soldiers packed tightly into the pass. Chariots were taken apart and carried by porters and pack animals. Every step forward felt uncertain, but the pharaoh walked at the front. His courage became the courage of the army. A scribe marched with them, recording every step. Everyone understood this was more than a campaign. It was history in the making. Days later, the Egyptian army emerged onto the plain of Megiddo, and something remarkable happened. The enemy was not there. At dawn the next morning, the battle began. Arrows filled the air. Shields shattered. Chariots thundered across the field, kicking up clouds of dust. In close combat, swords, axes, and screams blended into chaos. And then the enemy lines broke. They turned and ran. But in that moment of victory, the Egyptians made a mistake. Instead of pursuing the fleeing enemy, they stopped to seize the spoils. That pause gave their opponents just enough time to reach the walls of Megiddo. The gates slammed shut. The city still stood. Thutmose did not retreat. He surrounded the city and began a siege. Weeks turned into months. Hunger, thirst, and despair spread behind the walls. In the end, Megiddo surrendered. The pharaoh did not wipe the city out. He demanded loyalty. He took control of trade routes, tribute, and power. The horses were seized. New rulers were installed. Egyptian authority was restored. Megiddo was Thutmose's first great victory. Many campaigns followed, north into Syria, south into Nubia. Egypt was no longer just a kingdom. It had become an empire, and this was only the beginning. More than 3,000 years later, anyone walking through the Temple of Karnak can still see traces of that story carved in stone. The victories, the ambition, and the moment a young pharaoh chose the most dangerous path and changed history.